Jumps.
They have been identified as Jeffrey and Garry Kent of Canton. The Coast Guard is using an airplane and a 41-foot boat to search for them. Officials think that the two did have life jackets with them. They've been missing since 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Severe weather shook some nerves.
Or at Geneva State Park last night with no one in it, but with signs of a fire and 2 fire extinguishers empty. The Coast Guard thinks the men jumped from the boat and could be okay if they took life jackets with them, but so far, in spite of a wide-ranging search involving aircraft as well as watercraft, there is no sign of the men.
Our search, Coast Guard crews have called off the hunt for 2 Canton brothers missing from a Sunday Lake Erie fishing trip. News Center 8's Mike Conway reports an engine fire may have triggered panic.
Lake Erie Sunday afternoon, unpredictable 20-mile-an-hour northeast winds kick up 5-foot waves. Jeff and Garry Kent from Canton are fishing on this 16-foot outboard. Then, Madison Township Police receive a call. Someone has spotted the Kent boat with no one on board.
The boat was in excellent condition. They felt that there had possibly been a fire on board due to the 2 expended fire extinguishers found laying on the deck of the boat.
Authorities speculate the brothers grabbed 2 life preservers and jumped overboard, fearing the boat may explode. One witness on shore with binoculars called in and told authorities he could see one man in a yellow raincoat out in the water waving for help. Turns out the sighting was a false alarm. Coast Guard crews from Fairport Harbor and Ashtabula search a 10-mile area from Geneva to Fairport Harbor using boats and 3 helicopters. 1 helicopter came from the Canadian Coast Guard in Ontario.
We're approaching it as if both people do have life jackets on and are still out floating in the water.
1 chopper is equipped with night vision. It searched until 2 o'clock this morning. But following a 20-hour search, the Coast Guard recalls its search crews and now must wait for a miracle or the bad news to surface. Mike Conway, News Center 8, Madison Township.
Boats and helicopters had scanned a 10-mile stretch looking for Jeffrey and Garry Kent of Canton. Yesterday, their empty boat drifted to shore in Madison Township. Apparently, there had been a fire in the engine. 2 life jackets are missing, but there is no sign of the men.
Juries from Canton who may be lost in Lake Erie. Their boat floated ashore at Geneva State Park last night with no one in it, but with signs of a fire and 2 fire extinguishers empty. And the Coast Guard thinks the men jumped from the boat. It's not known whether they took life jackets with them. The search was suspended at noon today. There's no word on whether it will be resumed.
The Coast Guard has now called off a search for 2 Canton brothers missing from a Sunday Lake Erie fishing trip. Jeff and Garry Kent were fishing off Madison Township when their boat engine caught fire. Authorities believe the brothers doused the flames, then jumped overboard with life jackets, fearing the boat might explode. Well, the boat washed up on shore, but no sign of the brothers. The Coast Guard, using 2 boats and 3 helicopters, including a chopper from the Canadian Coast Guard, launched an intensive 20-hour search from Geneva to Fairport Harbor, but found nothing.
Television.
On Sunday, when their boat got separated from another boat they were traveling with. Investigators have only 1 clue so far, and that's a hat that Jeffrey wore. It washed up on shore yesterday.
Big success. It's going to be our best year.